Hi guys, welcome back to another Bourbon Santa video. I don't know if you can see clearly enough what's right here in front of me, but this is Redbreast 12-year cask strength, 56.2% alcohol. This is a new bottle, from the last year or so. I don't know when this bottle was imported, but it's new enough. It's pretty new. But this over here, I almost hesitate to say it. It's 86 proof. It's 10 years old, 10-year-old aged. But this bottle, which is pretty much full, is from the 1960s. The 1960s. I'm just doing the math in my head on what that means. The 1960s. This bottle is 60 years old. So let's just say it was middle 60s. It's 10-year-old whiskey. That means that this whiskey was distilled in the mid 50s. And sat on a shelf at an old person's house until after they passed away, and then was given to me by their estate as they were, cleaning out the house. So I feel absolutely honored beyond belief to be getting to try this. You guys know that I love Irish whiskey. You know that. You know that I'm a big fan of Irish whiskey. You know that Redbreast 12-year cask strength is one of my favorite Irish whiskeys. Just getting an opportunity to try Redbreast from this long ago freaks me out. Honestly, it just freaks me out. So I'm super excited to do this. Let's take a peek at the color. The color of these things, even though this one is cask strength at 56% and this one is 43%, the color of them is almost identical. It's so close. So close. Like almost identical. Maybe a touch darker on the cask strength, which to me is fascinating. 12 years cask strength, 10 years not cask strength. And to have the colors this similar, surprising. In the previous video, I did Jameson, an old Jameson from the 80s compared to today, and the newer Jameson is a good bit darker. The 80s Jameson was lighter. So these being almost exactly the same color is really interesting. It's funny, right here on this one, it says John Jameson and Sons 10-year-old liqueur whiskey, but it's 43%, and this is Redbreast. So I don't know why they called it a liqueur whiskey back then. It could be that they had to do that to get around import laws, but liqueur is not going to be 43% alcohol, so it's super fascinating. So let's just dive into this. I'm going to go, I don't know. See, I've been debating this. I've been debating whether I go with the cask strength 12-year or go with the old because lower proof, because I don't want the cask strength to blow out my palate so that I can't taste this. Anyway, we're going to do it. We're going to nose them both. This one, I've smelled the bottle a couple times. I have not tasted it yet. So, buttery, golden, toasted biscuit rich, creamy, buttery, really nice oak wood. Super creamy, super nice and pretty. Okay, let's nose. Far more mineral, far more grainy, like way more grainy. There's a, oh man, what is that? There's a, oh, wow. There's like a richness, like a saltiness, like this may not sound good, but it smells good. It's almost a pickle note. There's a leather, like a nice tanned leather. That biscuity note is there. It's more muted. It's hiding beneath that leather. It's just golden and pretty. Wow, I don't even know how to describe that. That has flavors and notes that I've never smelled before on the nose. I'm gonna taste it. It's relatively simple. It's creamy. It's rich. A little drying on the mid palate. Interestingly, same as the old Jameson. The oak notes show up in the back of the palate in the finish. That's where all the oak shows up. Relatively short finish. It's very grainy, very, very rich. It's like it's spicy and prickly, but it's like really mild spice. I couldn't tell you what kind of spice I'm talking about, but there's like a spiky spiciness to it. It doesn't really show as like a baking spice or a rye spice. Of course, there wouldn't be rye in this, or like a malty spiciness. Wow. It's just rich, buttery, that leather. What is that? Really, really nice. The copper pot starts to sing a little bit on the back of your throat. It feels like you put a piece of like a penny in your mouth. You start to feel that little bit of that copper on the back of your tongue, on the back of your throat. Wow. Drying, a little bit of oak bitters on the finish. The oak all shows up on the finish. The finish that you're left with is like a really nice, mild oak flavor on the very back of the finish. Let's taste the cast strength. The cast strength is richer, sweeter, more buttery. That spice shows up in the middle of the palate. It's creamier. It's a little more round and pretty. This has, that a little more spice on the palate than this had. and it's a little more distinct. It's more like it's like a malt spice. It's like a spicy malt kind of situation happening there. I'm not per se trying to pick out the notes in the 12-year. I'm trying to describe the difference between this and this. And this is spicier, but that could also just be the higher proof. The finish is very similar, very similar. This one has a little bit sweeter oak finish to it than this. This is a little bit more bitter on the oak part of the finish. It's funny, these are only 2 years difference in maturation age, and but this one nose is younger. You can pick up that youth, and this one just comes across a little older, a little stronger in that prospect. I get a little bit of chocolate here. I don't get any chocolate on this one. There's a syrupiness to it, like a thick syrupiness. Oh. Wow. That is a wild experience. That is something that I never thought I would get to experience. Tasting a time capsule like this, 60 years old, that's just outrageous to me. I just like with the Irish, the Jameson, I will be sharing this bottle with my patrons. So check out my Patreon community. Links in the description. And we have a private Facebook group where we all talk and share things, and we're going to do some live tastings in there. And mostly because I can't figure out how to do live videos through Patreon. I don't know. I can't figure out how to do it. I don't know if I'm just dumb or not technologically advanced enough. So I created a Facebook page, and we're going to be able to do that through there. And so if you want to get in on tasting some of the bottles that I open, which most of the bottles that I open, my patrons end up tasting some of. So go check it out. Links in the description. I feel so privileged to get to do this and taste amazing whiskeys with you guys. I love it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me. Until next time, have a great day.